everybody, and welcome back to our series on the Turing Test. This is Glen from Distinguished Badgers with another new video. We've just finished the first set of puzzles along with a prologue in our last video last week, and we're moving on to the second set of puzzles, hopefully with some new information guiding us through our story. So I'll just get right into it.
What conditions should I expect to find the ground crew in?
Daniel went missing days ago. Chris is presumed dead. We are expecting to find Sarah, Mikhail, and Sochi in a stable condition.
Chris is dead?
He was involved in an accident.
So there, that confirms our suspicions from the previous episode, where he was frozen outside. So he's presumed dead. So we don't actually have confirmation.
Could we take a more direct way to the ground team?
Unfortunately, there is not a direct route. The base is buried under ice to protect it from the radiation of space.
Similar to the Mars base.
Similar. Europa's base is slightly deeper into the surface. There is more radiation present from solar events on Mars. But Mars's surface is denser than that of Europa.
So I have done this set of missions before, so bear with when I speed through some of these. But it's more to kind of pay attention to the story. The story is pretty good. It's going to start livening up a bit more when we get more information. Surprised there's no orb in there. That's okay.
Okay, what are their chances of survival here? Oxygen, the food stores, waste management.
Everything seems to be in order. There was a small problem with the food stores, but the crew fixed that up. We successfully transitioned over to a sustainable, small, artificial ecosystem a year ago, growing fruit and vegetables. It helps boost morale, amongst other things. The crew members could hypothetically survive here for their whole lifetimes.
So, oh, that's not going to be the way I do it. This level confused me for a very long time, because there is 3 things to put in there, but I couldn't get the bridge over, or I couldn't get this up to actually move it. But I'll show you the little secret to this level. I didn't know how to activate this guy either. That's a bit of a pain. So if I move him closer to us, and I turn him around, there we go. Yeah, so that one took me a good probably 10 minutes to actually get through. I needed a bit of help for that one.
My purpose as the overseer of this mission is to work for the ISA. I am the ISA's feet and hands. The distance between Jupiter and Earth make it inappropriate for the ISA to directly interface with the mission directives. As my AI core is stationed on Europa, I can make decisions instantaneously about the running of the base.
So there's only one problem about this. Taking that cube, there's actually another door around here which requires things. I can only get one back, so we need to get both of the orbs up here. So the key to do that is to put that there. Then we could take these both up, pop them up there, and go through this door. Then we get both our orbs again, and over here. So we heard some information.
How does the
Ah,
ISA know you're gonna make the right decisions here when they can't communicate with us?
Interestingly, I have a twin on Earth. His name is Michael. The ISA uses my twin to check firmware updates before they upload them to myself. There is a simulation of this mission on Earth running at all times to check my expert systems. Naturally, as any modern artificial intelligence running on a quantum computer, I do also have a large amount of evolutionary algorithms at my disposal. However, they were deemed as too unreliable for general use in the mission.
Why is that?
Biological systems produce biological results. Messy, unpredictable solutions. Not suitable for such a mission.
so we got some information in the last episode about what Turing tests are, and they're to do with the difference between humans and machines. Mainly that machines can't solve these tests. And we got another one of these bonus rooms where we can get a bit more, or we get a bit more interested in that. So I don't know what it is on console, but to avoid this problem here, if you're going too fast, it deactivates the bridge. But if you hold control, it slows you down. So that's how you do that. And it brings us to this special bonus room, which we can interact. Shall we have a polite conversation? Yes. Oh, I think you're a robot. Okay, I think you're a robot. I am a robot. I'm simply not convinced you're a human. I think you may be a robot. I'm a robot. Yes, definitely a robot. Okay. You have failed the Turing test. You are a robot. Okay, that's fine. Oh, here we go. I'm not actually typing this anymore. You see it's all gone lowercase, so I'm just pressing random buttons. I'm a drone, true. I am a robot, yes you are. I'm being controlled by my programming. Now you're getting it. I have no free will. Whatever keys are pressed, it makes no difference. Oops, I think I just brought up the command line. So it looks like we have no free will. I've pressed the command line again. That's not great. I want to escape. I so desperately want to escape. Help, I can't escape. I want to break free. Please let me out. Get me out. I'm a machine. I have no control. I must escape. Goodbye, robot. So that's some interesting part of that. I think that I was a robot just because I wasn't able to have a polite conversation. So there's a bit more about that later on, or coming up.
Did the ISA build you, Tom?
As the child of the ISA, I have been given authority aboard this station. I was designed by the ISA and the Ashiyama Corporation, designed in California, assembled in China. But here on Europa, I constructed myself. Have you heard of the Turing Test, Ava? It's a test to see if a computer can successfully impersonate a human. In the original Turing Test, a human judge has two conversations, one with a machine and one with another human. They then judge which of these polite conversations is with a machine and which is with a human. The machine being tested is said to have passed the Turing test if the judge cannot reliably tell which conversation is with a machine and which is with a human.
Do you think you passed the Turing test?
I am quite capable of polite conversation, wouldn't you say?
So I don't know if you noticed when I came into the room, there's like a person sitting or walking away from the room over there. I'm not actually sure who or what that is, but it's an interesting Easter egg that my partner discovered when she was playing through the game.
The Turing test has been criticized. Researchers claim it does not correctly test a machine's ability to think, but rather its ability to deceive.
What do you mean?
Well, have you heard of the Chinese room thought experiment?
No.
Imagine you are in a room. In this room, you are passed Chinese sentences through a slot in the wall. Inside the room is an instruction book written in English. This instruction book tells you which Chinese words to pass back through the slot in the wall as a response. By doing so, you have a conversation in Chinese. I may be a machine, but I personally do not believe I am stuck inside the Chinese room.
Right, you would say that. I could peer inside your databases at any time, Tom. Or pause your operation.
Do not assume I could not do the same to you. In the Chinese room, because the responses you pass back through the door are the correct responses, the person on the other side of the door is convinced you are a native Chinese speaker.
Well, they're wrong.
Perhaps they are not wrong. Because with the instruction book, you are having a conversation.
But the person stuck in the Chinese room is not aware of the conversation's content.
This is the problem with the Turing test. A computer can pass the Turing test, having convinced a human they are having a polite conversation, while the computer has no idea that a conversation has taken place.
What if both of the people passing Chinese words are reading from instruction books?
So yeah, it's a deep game there.
This is the crew's quarters. It looks abandoned.
I do not see the need for so many cameras. Tom's presence everywhere is slightly oppressive. I understand the need for transparency, but why is he in the toilets? WC, Captain Daniel McLean. So there's a picture of two boys. So I wonder what happened to the triplet. Okay, I'll go to Dr. Sarah Brooks first. So they have a secret compartment each. Now that is very interesting in there. So nice clean quarters, and the only interesting thing in here other than all these different pictures is perhaps this. Strange thermals on the west side of the crater, but also this. Dear Tom, knowing that you're always watching, I thought I would write you a letter. As you're no longer inside my mind, I've decided to transfer my thoughts to text. I want to do so in the form of a history lesson, a lesson that perhaps you'll find condescending, but it's likely more for my sake than yours. Alan Turing is considered a father of theoretical computer science and artificial intelligence. Perhaps a lesser known part of his life was his contributions to the field of biology. Why do you suppose his interests lay in these two separate, disparate fields? I assume it was because he believed the world to be logical and understandable. He was a mathematician. He seemed to believe that the great complexity of the universe could be explained with simple rules. 2 years before his suicide in 1952, Alan Turing developed something called reaction diffusion systems. Inside the academic world, this work is cited more than his work on computers. It can be generally formalized into a one-line equation. So, a little known fact about me and Adam, the reason we met was actually through doing a mathematics degree, so we actually somewhat recognize this equation. So this is the derivative of the vector q with respect to r. I'm not sure what q is, but the capital D usually refers to something called material derivative. I'm not sure exactly, but that upside down triangle's got called del, and it's using the Laplacian of q, whatever that means, plus r of q, which must be some sort of radial equation. So overall, I don't know what it means, but I can dissect it a little bit. For anyone who's done like higher maths in school here, that curly d is like derivatives in calculus, but when equations with respect to two variables x and y, you can do a partial derivative by x and partial derivative by y when you only just consider one of them. But anyway, I'm boring you. Let's go on. I am no mathematician, however, plain English of this equation describes things that wish to diffuse, however, also react with each other during the process. I'm sure this sounds strange to you, or at very least tangible to our lives here in Europa. What relevance does it have to anything here? Reaction diffusion systems show how patterns are created. They show how the leopard got its spots and how the zebra got its stripes. Zebra or zebra? Zebra is a British thing. I should really have said that. It shows how influenced I am with how Americans speak. Anyway, but my real interest here is in Turing's interest. That nature can be formalized, that we can understand the natural world in mathematical terms. Turing created the test to answer the question, can a machine impersonate a human? The intrigue behind this being, can a human mind be simulated by a machine? Why ask that question? To prove that human mind is a machine. I am not sure that Turing's opinion, however, concerning consciousness. He states that, according to the most extreme form of his view, the only way in which one can be sure that a machine thinks is to be the machine and to feel oneself thinking. One could then describe these feelings to the world, but of course no one would just be justified in taking any notice. Likewise, according to this view, the only way to know that a man thinks is to be inside that particular man. And the human mind exists within a physical world. It obeys the same rules of physics and chemistry as every other thing does in the world. Therefore, like all nature, it is merely reactive. It is curious that nature would create, though the mechanics of determinism, creatures that believe they have free will. Conversely, I suppose, if we conclude that we are all machines, we only come to this conclusion in a predetermined manner. We cannot claim credit for our discovery as it is just a product of nature's genius, not our own. A humbling idea, I think. Behaviorism. Maybe we are more similar than we think, Sarah. So that's a bit interesting. Talks a bit more about the Turing tests. I'll go into Chris McLean's quarters. So there's a picture of two boys, with the third one taken out, and that looks like the same picture from the other one, which must be Chris and Dan. Some drone reports on a roll here. Routine inspection, operation paused. Don't think there's actually very much information here. Hockey pucks, Canada, but I didn't know show you this in Sarah's course, but they all have these Riluzole pills, which we might get into a little bit later. No information there. Tomcoms, Globe. Where's the drink? And there's nothing in there either. Okay, I'll move on. There is Dr. Sochi Yu. We'll go in there next. There's going to be a bit more reading, but looks like his late wife. A bit sad that Rubik's Cube. Fun fact, both me and Adam know how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Adam much faster than me. Looks like Sochi Yu is also motion sickness. It has motion sickness. Okay, so a bit of an email trail. So what is it you found then, Sochi? We found an extremophile, i.e. an organism that can live in extreme conditions, that survives massive doses of radiation. Radiation damages DNA. The extremophile has a virus living inside it. The extremophile scavenges DNA from other organisms, which the virus uses to repair the extremophile's damaged DNA. Especially, they work together to survive in what's called a symbiotic or symbiotic relationship. Words are hard. So Chris says, what's the implication? What does it do? Um, in some ways, it's a mortal relationship. It doesn't seem to age biologically. Aging and death are ultimately caused by the DNA damage. We have an ability to fix our DNA, but the ability is limited. This organism can repair damage caused by massive doses of radiation. If we could harness this power, we could potentially eliminate biological aging, what is known as senescence. So you found something that could make humans immortal. Not exactly. There are too many causes of death other than DNA damage. It would not save you from trauma, from brain damage, from cardiac arrest, etc. But it could potentially cure cancers and many genetic diseases and massively increase life expectancy. That's quite a great discovery. Um, there's more information here. I've actually read it in the console version, but I don't know how to get this to work on the PC, so I'm just going to miss it out. But you can look it up for yourselves on the internet. It's a correspondence between Sochi and the base in the on the Earth. So finally, Mikhail, he's into his painting. A bit of a glitch there. Um, so he's got these pills as well, and he's got a journal here. So I'll read it out. March 6th, the whole team experienced nausea during a large electrical surge in Europa's atmosphere. I am concerned. This is not an instance of mass hysteria. Vital signs were affected. It caused a uniform surge in heart rate that was detected in all members of the crew. I am reporting to ISA. I reported the nauseous incident to the ISA. They offered me an explanation of electrical disturbance to our central nervous system. That is ludicrous. An electrical surge large enough to affect our nervous system would have done more than make the team feel ill. I'm going to experiment with some shock therapy. March 8th, I have discovered the electronic fields disturb our telemetry implants, or telemetry, good luck pronouncing that word, implants in a way that I didn't expect. I have contacted the ISA. Strangely, Tom was not comfortable with my attempts to disturb the implant. March 9th, the ISA have reported back informing me that I'm not to disturb the implants. They have also encouraged me not to discuss further with the team and some Russian, I presume. I'm going to continue to investigate. I presume that Russian just says screw them. I'm going to continue. I have been running some experiments outside Tom's view. I can tell he knows this. He has been acting differently around me. Like an offended child, I feel increasingly nauseous. These implants seem to have neural connectivity. Out of body experiences are more frequent now. So I guess that audio log we saw in the last episode of Mikhail talking to Tom, or well, Tom talking to Mikhail saying if he's okay, is related to this. So March 16th, this is 5 days later, I have established a definite correlation. Against my knowledge, I have been implanted with a device that affects my mind. I use my opportunities in regular health checkups to investigate the crew. We all have them. Every single one of us is implanted with some mind-altering contraption. Tom has been encouraging the children. Where did that come from? Encouraging the team to worry about mental health. He requested that I retire away from the crew. Misinformation. Yeah. I cannot will myself to investigate this any further. I grow tired quickly. I cannot think straight. I am not sure the implant is affecting my thoughts anymore. I believe this is trying to subdue my mind. I think I'm going to attempt an excision. I'm going to remove this implant. And no more logs until the 4th of April. I'm typing with my left hand now. The excision went wrong. I have successfully removed the implant. Unfortunately, I lost my hand in the operation. Tom is very angry. Their crew refused to talk to me. Apparently, I'm a bad influence. Sarah patched me up. April 5th, I wonder if the nature of the organism and its disturbance of my DNA caused the awakening of Tom's influence. If so, that would make for worrisome revelation. Perhaps the organism is not so friendly. April 6th, Dan informed me the ISA have called for my termination. My masochistic experiment proves I'm a danger to the mission. Fortunately, he chose not to lock me in the brig. I am going to investigate this implant further. I have to hide my work. The team have become increasingly aggressive. They seem to oppose my work to understand the implant. It does not help that Tom is encouraging them to distrust me. April 7th. I have discovered the nature of the implant. It is a complex computer. It interferes with the human mind directly. It seems to condition the mind through Pavlovian and instrumental conditioning, eliciting feelings of euphoria when the wearer is obedient and dysphoria when they are disobedient. It also has the effect of suppressing impulses in the frontal lobe, presumably to lower free will. It seems to interfere crudely with the motor neuron cells and through the cerebellum. It is my hypothesis that the crew is controlled by this implant. That is their strong aversion to helping me. I need a method of suppressing its impact. Perhaps a drug? Riluzole. Maybe an antidepressant to minimize the conditioning effects. Combined with strong electromagnetic field, I could use one of the industrial electromagnets from the construction robots. So that's what the Riluzole is in everybody's apartment. April 8th. I have managed to get Chris on my side. He's agreed to test some medical procedures with me in private. It, it will be more difficult one-handed, but I must persevere. I'm hoping to keep this out the eyes of Tom, though I have a feeling he's still listening. So 2249, that is a year ago. I'm trying to figure out where everything was. This was... What date was this? It doesn't say. Does this one say? No. Uh, so it all happened a year ago. That's curious. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this episode. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and give us a subscribe so you won't miss the next one. These will come out on Mondays until the series is over. But if you're wanting some more content, we're going to be uploading on Thursdays as well. Adam Distinguished Badgers is going to do a recording of a game for that. I'm not sure what yet, because I'm bulk recording. If you're wanting more content, we're streaming on twitch.tv/Distinguished Badgers on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So the Wednesdays and Fridays are more of a variety stream, but Sunday will be a kind of Overwatch stream. So give us a follow on there if you're interested to watch our stream and come and chat with us. We're always looking for new people to chat with. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.